But, I mean, know your worth, Kawhi. You should go and ask for the sun, moon, and stars.
Yes.
And guess what? If he asks for the sun, moon, and stars, and you say no.
You can just have the moon.
Right. Or, a star. And he says no, then that's on you. You chose not to give him the franchise. It's like what happened in Miami when LeBron left. I can be angry LeBron left, but they didn't want to give him the franchise. And I'm okay with not giving him the franchise. And, we're not as good as we were when LeBron was there, but that's what you do. You make those decisions.
This is one of the things I hate. When people lose in free agency, they blame the player. Anger is mostly based on expectations. The Lakers told everybody they were getting Kawhi. When they didn't, that doesn't meet their expectations, so now they're mad at Kawhi. Bottom line here is, he is a free agent, heavy on the free.
Right.
It's his choice, and you didn't close, so don't blame the player.
Right. And to say that they got played, how did you get played? The only way that you would have been played, in my eyes, is if he told you he was coming and then he didn't come.
Right.
But if he never said, yeah, I'm coming, then how did you get played? This is what you said. It's free agency. He's going to go around and meet with different people. He's going to make demands while he's doing that. I want to meet here. I want to do that. And you better do whatever he says because he is the prize. He's the star player. He's the free agent that's going to change the future of your franchise. He didn't get played unless he told you he was coming, and he didn't come. And even if he did that, he has a right to change his mind. He's a grown man, and this is his future. By the way, you also did not put the pieces together that you needed to put together to be in a winning position for free agency. Free agency anymore is not just about being in the sun and having a big brand and having the most amount of money or even having other stars there. People want to know that you're going to take care of them while they're there, that they're not walking into a dysfunctional situation where they got to be stressed out when they go to work every day. That matters too. There's all kinds of different elements. That's why I'm glad that a lot of the teams who were tanking didn't get rewarded during this offseason because that's not the kind of basketball that you want to play and then have a superstar go there and reward them for being in that situation. You want to be winning, and that's what the Clippers did. They were competitive. They were in the playoffs. They just needed one piece. They were functional. They were not noisy, and that's what worked for Kawhi. He didn't play anybody. So, speaking of the Lakers, Anthony Davis spoke at Nike's Rise Camp at Kenwood Academy this weekend, and when talking about what being from Chicago means to him, he gave the city some very high praise, and that's getting a little traction.
No matter if it's hot, it's freezing cold in the gym, outside, it's raining, whatever. They're just any basketball player, but in Chicago, it means a lot more to us because we are a basketball city, and we are the mecca of basketball. You can quote me on that.
So obviously New Yorkers are going to have a little bit of a pushback.
I always thought Chicago was a football city.
I guess, no, I think it just depends on who you are, really, or maybe it's a generational thing, because when I think of Chicago, I obviously think of Michael Jordan.
Right. But
and
before Jordan,
basketball.
Before Jordan got there.
No, you can make that argument.
It was just,
for sure.
It was just kind of a...
Probably make an argument it's a baseball city, too. It's just a great sports town.
It's a great sports city.
But, the mecca of basketball is widely considered to be New York.
Right.
I don't have a problem with him saying Chicago's the mecca of basketball. Obviously, they have a great basketball history, and the Bulls are legendary. But I don't
think there is a mecca of basketball. I think talent now comes from Houston and Atlanta and Philadelphia.
LA could make a good argument for it. North Carolina, DMV area. So finally, Ezekiel Elliott may hold out this summer for a long-term contract extension, but he reportedly hasn't made a decision yet. Ian Rappaport reports that Zeke is keeping his options open for right now. From what I'm told, as recently as yesterday, all options were still on the table. Zeke has still not yet firmly decided whether or not he was going to hold out. If he does not hold out, that means contract negotiations are going in the right direction, or at least he trusts the Cowboys to get a deal done. Now, there's a report this morning that he is planning on leaving the country. I don't know how dramatic that is because... is he going to Canada? Is he going to Mexico?
Oh, Mexico. You go to Cabo for a weekend, that's leaving the country.
Or is he going to Australia? There's levels to leaving the country.
Right.
Mexico's not really that far.
Yeah.
2-hour flight, and he's in Cabo, and he's just chilling on the beach, which is where he went during his suspension, if you remember.
Yes, it is where he went.
So he went down there to
half the league goes to Mexico during the season during a bye week, so that's not really leaving.
Right, because it's not far. Yes, you are technically leaving the country.
From Dallas, it's really not far.
Right. So I don't know that that's that big of a deal. It sounds dramatic, but it could be dramatic depending on where he's going, obviously. I hope this holdout doesn't happen. I don't really like it, being that he has 2 years left on his deal. I get it, obviously, and I don't have a problem if they do want to pay him because he is incredibly valuable, and I always want people to make their money. But I just think that Dak is the more important contract to get done. And this kind of falls on the Cowboys because the Cowboys had an opportunity to get Dak's contract done, and they waited. And now you are in this position where you have to figure out Dak, Zeke, and Amari all pretty much at the same time, because you weren't really worrying about Zeke up until he decided to put this out there and put the pressure on you.
It's like the Philadelphia 76er fan said, Colin, you don't know anything. We're going to keep all our guys. You couldn't afford to keep all your guys. Dallas can't afford to keep all their guys here, Cowboy fans. You can't. It's called a salary cap.
Yeah, it just doesn't. It's not.
Yeah, so at some point,
unless someone's going to take a massive deal cut, which they're not, because they shouldn't, especially Dak, being that he's been playing on a 4th-round rookie contract.
Yeah.
So.
Enjoy the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The